It almost seemed like Rodon was really working through that lineup with ease. Obviously, a little tough luck there in the 7th, but overall, what have you thought of him, not only tonight, but really to start the season?
Yeah, really good. I mean, on the attack again tonight, again, mixing up the arsenal, had a presence with the changeup and the cutter again. The cutter got him a big double play ball there, I think, in the 4th or 5th when he got into a little bit of trouble. But more good. I mean, pitching into the 7th inning, and a little tough luck there behind him, but just another strong one for him to put us in position to win a game.
That cutter was a pitch this spring that he said he really wanted to incorporate more and work on more. Just, are you surprised how much of a valuable tool it has become for him, and what does that do to his repertoire in adding that?
I like it. I like the pitch for him. It just gets you off the heater a little bit and puts him in position to get some ground balls too. Like that, that cutter, put him on the ground for a big double play there, 5-4-3. It's just another look to just get him from completely selling out to the fastball all the time, or, and making sure the ball's up to lay off the slider down. So just another weapon there. And then I thought he did a good job mixing in the changeup too tonight.
What do you think that ovation meant to him as he walked off the mound?
Hopefully it felt good, but he was waiting on me to tell me it was his game to leave him in. So he was still in compete mode. But look, he's been through a lot, and again, I've talked about it ad nauseum. He continues to just stack really good days, and he's been doing that for months now. And he's in a good place, and he's really competitive right now.
Andy,
all that stuff about his new pitch mix aside too. You talked in spring training about he needed to build up some of that confidence back, and that will come with success. Are you seeing that pretty much all the way where you need it to be after these 3, or where he would need it to be after these 3 good starts?
Yeah, I mean, again, I want the focus to be on the daily. What I have to do, what's my recovery day look like tomorrow now, and get ready for my next start. He's done a really good job of that, of pouring into the work he needs to do to put his body in a position to go out there and perform. And again, just 3 starts, but good results, and it's a result of a talented guy being prepared and ready.
Clap.
This probably is a better question for Rodon or maybe Matt Blake, but if you put a video of Rodon today compared to a video of him a year ago, what would be the difference other than the confidence you're talking about?
I think just, first of all, crispness of the pitches. I think better command and strike throwing. I think some more development in the arsenal that I think is going to serve him well moving forward. So that, I mean, and not, again, coming to a new team, big deal. You're playing catch up all year because you're started out down. So he's just, I feel like in a really good space right now, and he's earned that.
Randy.
Hamilton comes into a tough spot there, gets 3 outs, preserves the lead, gives you another inning, 1, 2, 3 for Holmes. What are your thoughts on what those 2 guys have given you early in the year when a lot of other relievers have been hurt?
Yeah, I mean, they've been huge. Ian's he's such a weapon, and tonight even being real pitch efficient too, got a lot of soft contact. Does a good job with both handed. He's pretty much equally tough righty and lefty. If you get into a situation where the running game is so quick to the plate that he kind of eliminates that. And I think just another year of confidence and coming off a season in which he was, frankly dominant at times when he was healthy and rolling. I think he's got a lot of confidence right now, and then Clay, Clay same way, and good to see him come out and nail down another one.
Clap.
Just your thoughts overall, Aaron, on their start. You guys have won 4 series in a row now, and you look like you're really rolling.
Yeah, you know, you can't take them off the board, and they matter now as much as any time. So, I would say it's early. It is, and there's a long way to go. But anytime you can play a stretch of games like this, you sure sign up for that and you take it. But more than anything, wins, losses, whatever, at this point in the season, I'm just pleased with how the group is competing, how they've come together, their purpose, and we got to keep that same focus going.
Howie.
Did Rodon give you the ball when he came off? It looked like he took the ball off and walked with it to the dugout.
He gave me the new one. They threw one out and just exchanged. So he took the other one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my ball and just go to my locker, I guess is what it is. He talked a lot about Rodon. I like Bob Clappish's question about if you looked at video from last year and this year, what would be different beyond the confidence? In your opinion, what would that be?
Well, it's command. It's going to more pitches. It's having more options to go to. We've talked about how he came into camp in better shape. So I think if you look at side to side, he's probably a pitcher who's in a better spot to succeed this year. And I think once you have a little bit of success, you have that confidence. The velocity has been up. But I really think that adding more options and having more weapons to go to has been a major factor for him.
For some pitchers, that's not easy. They're stubborn. They're set in their ways. I'm a 2-pitch guy. I can blow guys away. How hard is that, or maybe easy for Rodon, because you know him making that transition to a 3- or 4-pitch pitcher?
Sure. I think last year was definitely a shock for him. And like Boone alluded to there for a second, you know, last year he kind of started off behind the 8 ball, and he was really kind of playing catch-up the whole rest of the season. I think the one thing that I really noticed in spring training was the first day I saw him, I was like, wow, this guy is in so much better shape than he was last year. And I think the velocity shows that. I think one of the things the Yankees were very excited about was his velocity and the overall upness and how hard he was able to throw early in his starts in spring training. And hopefully that's going to continue to keep going. He's one of those guys that he relies a lot on that 4-seam fastball. You're seeing the fastballs up in the zone, 94, 95, and a little later in the season when it gets a little warmer, you're going to see some 6s and some 7s. And once he gets the foam going out his mouth, you might see some 98s and some 99s. So for myself, as well as the New York Yankees, this is an amazing start, 2 great starts. I feel like we talked a little bit about it. When Garrett Cole went down, what I noticed in that locker room was a cohesiveness between the starting pitchers. If you notice when Rodon was coming off the field that night, as well as Nestor last night, Marcus Stroman was standing at the top step to give those guys love. And there's something to be said for that, man. Marcus is a new guy over here trying to make his name here in the Bronx, and he's doing a great job. They have cohesively unified themselves, and it's great to see.
And who gets the ball in the next game? Marcus Stroman.
Going for the
show, baby.
Going for the sweep, and as we said on today's pregame, all respect to the Marlins, but these are games you have to win.
Right.
And what Boone just said now, I think, is vital. Last year when the Yankees were struggling, there was a voice coming out of the clubhouse very often. You would hear, well, we're the Yankees. We're the Yankees, and we're going to straighten this out. How do you know you're going to straighten it out? Well, guys have track records. That didn't work out. So they came into this season, I think, with a different attitude. I think they built the foundation before spring training even started, with so many players flocking to Tampa to get ready. And then I just wanted to amplify what Nick said about Rodon. This is a proud pitcher. This is a guy who signed a $162 million contract, and then by his own admission, it was a failure. I can give you all the stats. He has said that himself. 7 ERA almost, and he was not who the Yankees expected him to be. He wants a redo. He's got the redo this year.
I think one more thing I just want to say on the offensive side of things. I think for the New York Yankees last year, what we saw, which wasn't a great year, the Yankees would score early and then just kind of coast the rest of the game. What you're seeing now is a gas pedal approach, a suffocation approach, being able to suffocate that pitcher, give him no room to breathe out there, and it's awesome to see. Guys are wearing down pitchers. I think bringing over Juan Soto has a lot to do with that, but the overall approach from batters 1 through 9 has been awesome to see, because when you roll out a lineup like that, some of those lineups we saw last year, Yankees didn't feel like they had any chance. Now they have a chance each and every day.
How important is it for guys in that locker room or the clubhouse to hear that a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera keeps saying, I'm hanging around Juan Soto? Like, I'm learning from him, and if I was a young guy and I heard that, I'd be like, I should probably go hang out around Juan Soto. Too, right?
If I was on the team, I'd be hanging around Juan Soto too. There's no doubt. I was able to talk to Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm glad you brought that up. I was able to talk to him during batting practice today, and the overall excitement that he had for Juan Soto being in that locker room. Listen, Juan's hitting 348 right now, OPS over 900, doing exactly what everybody thought he was going to do. But on top of that, what Juan Soto is doing in the locker room is so much bigger than anything he could do on the field right now. These young players look up to him so much. It's crazy that young players are looking up to a 25-year-old who is a young player in his own right. But being able to see what he does in that locker room and the confidence he has and the work that he puts in each and every day, it's trickle-down effect. Everybody's paying attention to that. Everybody's watching what he's doing, and he's helping out a lot of the young guys.
Aaron Boone alluded to this in the pregame today, that he said he puts in all the work. Everybody loves the work. They see it, but then he also has fun playing the game. Sometimes guys take it too seriously, or they don't take it serious enough.
I wrote a book with Paul O'Neill about hitting, and he talked a lot about his frustration. I think Paul would probably admit that it was only fun if he was winning. It was only fun if he had success. Now, everybody would probably say that. But I remembered that remark from Boone as well, Bob, and I thought, wow, when you figure out a way to have that blend, that you are working as hard as you can and all the pressure is on you and you're the great Juan Soto, but yet you can still sign an autograph during a game. Our camera operators can still catch him juggling a heat pack the other day, right, and landing on his cap or wearing the cap backwards for a couple of his post-game interviews. Yep. Everyone should strive to be as great and as chill as Juan Soto is.
No doubt. I remember I used to have this conversation with Derek Jeter, the captain, for the longest time, and we used to have this debate whether winning caused fun or fun caused winning. Obviously, I thought fun caused winning. He thought winning caused fun. But either way, you got to have both of them.
Yep.
Carlos, it seemed like you were really attacking early. Just what did you feel like was working for you out there, and overall, how have you felt to start the season?
I think Austin had a great game behind the plate calling. We worked some cutters and some changeups. Got some contact defense, picked me up, made some plays, turned some double plays, scored some runs, and the bullpen shut the door. So good win.
Aaron mentioned the cutter. You had talked about it during spring training. How do you think that's helping your arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of get some off the fastball, get some weak contact, get some balls on the ground. Haven't really had a ground ball pitch the last few years, so it's nice to have that.
Aaron had mentioned that you were waiting for him to say it's your game in that seventh inning to try to get out of that. How tough was that for you to leave in that situation? How badly did you want to stay up?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted the ball, but I understand the manager's got a job to do, and it's pretty easy to give the ball to Ian Hamilton, to be honest, and our bullpen, because they're pretty good. So obviously I wanted the ball, but like I said, give the ball to Ian Hamilton, let him go.
Was the ovation meaningful for you?
Yeah, it was nice. It was good. Just glad we won the game.
At what point in spring training, Carlos, you felt like that cutter is going to be a pitch for you? Obviously, guys try out stuff in spring.
Yeah. Just when I got to Florida early, just in February or January, just working with it in the gas station with Desi and everyone in our pitching department. Just seeing the numbers on it, I had a good feeling that, if I can consistently throw this over the plate and kind of understand what I need to do to get the action on it, I knew it was going to help the arsenal.
What about the changeup? You doubled the usage of that from your last start, and Nestor used that a lot. A lot of righties in the lineup that we thought that changeup would work well against, and today I had it, and the profile was good and the location was good, and some good swing and miss on it, and just hope to keep using that further on.
You talked about needing to get your confidence and swagger back. What have these 3 games done for that?
Yeah, it's stepped in the right direction today. Just keep going. So confidence is growing for sure.
How important was it for you to put up a couple good starts here to start the season?
I mean, it's always important, I think, for any of us to start off on a good note. I think we're playing good baseball right now, and looking forward to tomorrow and trying to take a third one from them.
Is there a healthy competition among the staff so far, the way it's been going?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have that compete in all of us, and we all want to do well. We all pull for each other. I think that's the biggest thing in this group, is that, I mean, whoever's pitching, whoever's up to bat, I mean, we're pulling for those guys, as it should be.
Do you think you're back to where you were in your All-Star seasons. Do you think maybe you could even be better now that you have other pitches?
You know, I'm just kind of taking it start by start. I mean, whatever happens, happens. I always believe in my ability, and I think my teammates believe in me as well. I believe in them, so I'm just going to go out there and compete and try to win games for this club.
And clearly a tough spot there in the 7th inning. Take me through your mindset as you're running in from the bullpen, knowing you're facing a bases-loaded situation.
Just trying to get outs for Carlos right there to keep that game going, and just kind of control whatever situation was, and then glad we got out of it.
What's your thoughts on what you've been able to accomplish so far this season after having a pretty good rookie season?
Right, just trying to stay consistent for the team, just trying to keep us in line for wins.
How comfortable are you in this multi-inning role and being able to kind of bounce back in between?
Definitely working through it. A little different than last year, a little different timing again in the games, but definitely like it, and definitely want to keep doing it.
What's the biggest adjustment for you in this newer role that they're kind of been using you in?
Definitely more of just making sure I'm feeling like at least 95% every day. Just doing way more recovery stuff to feel ready for the game.
What do you like about it?
The moment. It's the best.
Ian, what do you think about the team's confidence right now? You've won your first 4 series.
Definitely a good feeling right now, and I'm sure everyone in this clubhouse wants to keep that going.
I think you and Clay are about the only guys left from last year when you guys had the lowest ERA. And it's pretty good again this year. What's your thoughts on what you guys have accomplished with a lot of new guys?
I mean, everyone in here is setting a really good standard for the pen in general, and then everyone in here is still like competing against each other. Even though we're on the same team, we're still like pushing each other to do better than the last time, and pushing the next guy to do better than the last guy. So we got a good pen right now, good chemistry with it.
What have you thought of what you've seen out of Carlos so far this season?
It's good stuff. We love seeing that. Love seeing it.
How much different does he look this year compared to last year?
I mean, he still looked good last year, but this year he definitely has a little bit more like driving those eyes. So he's looking good, and we love seeing him.
I think Clay Holmes is underrated. You don't hear a lot about him, and quietly puts up pretty good numbers every year, and 5 saves already so far now.
I mean, Clay's Clay. He's gonna keep doing what he does every night like that, and he's probably not gonna say much about it. So I think that's right where he's at.
I've said it numerous times. It's been a very easy transition. These guys played against a lot of these guys for a long time, and respected their careers and what they've done. And coming over here, they've done a really good job of welcoming me and letting me be myself. And I think just with that, I'm able to show my energy, kind of, like I said, just be myself. And Soto come in here. We got some new faces that are just really kind of bringing some. Just a new vibe, kind of a little bit. Feels like everybody's a little bit looser, right? Everybody can kind of show their personality a little bit more.
How much does it help over the long term, seeing what you're capable of now, the whole team?
Obviously, I think it just lets us trust the process. We know that if our top dogs aren't going, we got guys at the bottom of the lineup, guys in the middle that can catch fire and kind of hold the steam, right? Like let it keep going. And I think that's the biggest thing is, we know we have pitchers, we know we got guys, our bullpen's nasty. We understand that they're going to keep us in the game. And, the biggest thing is to keep that line moving 1 through 9.
What's it been like for you to see this whole dogs thing take off? I mean, you started it in Houston.
Yeah, it's been fun. I love it, man. To hear the crowd out there barking, to see everybody kind of, running with it has been a lot of fun. And, hey, man, who doesn't like to bark, right? So it's fun.
You have a dog?
I do. My mom does. I don't have one right now, just because it's hard with the traveling. But I grew up and I've always had dogs. So, yeah, we love them.
You got to see Carlos. You got to see Carlos last year with Boston. What do you feel like is different with him as a pitcher this season?
I think the biggest thing is, like I said, he's adding some stuff, man. He's adding the cutter, he's adding the changeup, and he's throwing it with more confidence. It's a lot. I think the biggest thing is, usually he's a fastball slider guy, so guys can kind of take their chance and open up a little bit more because it's righties, everything's coming into them, lefties, everything's going away. So just to add that changeup against righties, it's a very, it humbles and like balances it out a little bit. Can't have guys cheating, and you gotta, it just forces them to be a lot more accurate with their barrel. And yeah, he's been lights out.
What kind of dog would you be?
Oh man, I don't know. We kind of joke every day it's like a baby Chihuahua. So we start with like a baby bark, and the more damage you do, the base starts going a little deeper, and you start turning into a big dog. So every day it's a little dog, and when you do something, you're a big dog.
He's an easy guy to root for and an easy guy to bark at, apparently.
Who doesn't love to bark, right, Bob?
Little Chihuahua, that's right. Next game's pitching matchup brought to you by Nissan. It's Ryan Weathers going for the Marlins, trying to avoid the sweep for his first career start against the Yankees. And Jack Marcus Stroman coming off 6 shutout innings against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, every time I've seen Stroman pitch for the Yankees, it's only been twice, but both times I came away impressed with how he goes out there with a plan and a strategy, and if plan A doesn't work, he's got a plan B or a plan C. His 2 best pitchers are his sinker and his cutter. Batters are 4 for 31 against those pitches. You can see how excited he is to be a Yankee. Nick talked about him greeting his teammates at the top of the dugout, how supportive he is of them. This is going to end up being a really good fit for the Yankees.
From the moment that Marcus Stroman came over to the Yankees, I reached out to him, and we have just developed a great relationship moving forward. I fell in love with him just like Yankee fans are. The authenticity of who this man is and the way he goes about his business, it's so amazing. Not only did we bring over a gamer, the Yankees brought over a professional pitcher. The way he goes about his business day in and day out, this entire pitching staff, it's great to see.
You know what was great to see, Jack? We were there for the home opener. He goes over and greets his family, right before he goes out to the bullpen. But then it's almost like that was a nice moment, but then he flipped a switch. He tapped into the energy of the crowd, and that got him going for a start. You don't see that a lot with starting pitchers.
I'd never, in 30-plus years of covering baseball, push postseason aside because everyone's trying to get the crowd amped up. But for a home opener, which of course there's a lot of pageantry, for him to do what he did, it felt like a boxing match, or it felt like a wrestling match, somebody making their entrance into the ring. And you said he flipped the switch, Bob, but he did. But then he also told reporters after the game, well, I get on the mound, then I'm stoic again. Right. So he was able to have all these emotions going, and the fans were loving every moment of it.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody appreciates someone coming over who wants to be a New York Yankee. And I think Yankee fans understand that. I think he understands that. He's a Long Island or Jersey kid?
Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island kid. He knows exactly his family, his friends. Everybody's so stoked for him to be a New York Yankee. But more than anybody, he's stoked to be a New York Yankee, and it definitely shows.
There is a speed bump on the front. 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 There is a speed bump on the front.